All right, this is for second period. We want to finish up those guided notes from yesterday on section 9.1, so if you would get those out and pause this if you need to. And we are going to go through the next part for section 9.1, which we're going to talk about as the vertex. Okay, every parabola has a vertex, and it is either the highest or the lowest point. Okay, if it opens upward, okay, the vertex is the lowest point. Oops. If the parabola opens downward, the vertex is the highest point. Okay, so if you take a look here, here's your vertex. We're going to label it as an ordered pair. This one has a minimum, which is 0. That is the lowest point on the graph. This vertex is 3, 5. It is a maximum. It is the highest point on the graph. So a vertex will either be a minimum or a maximum. If the graph opens up, minimum. Graph opens down, maximum. Okay, so to identify the vertex, if you're given the graph, all you have to do is find the coordinates of that point. That is the lowest point here. So you need to write down the vertex is -3, 2. Okay, label it as an ordered pair. Now it says give the minimum or maximum. Well, that is the lowest point on the graph. So you label it as a minimum. And then we just label the lowest point, which is the y value. So as you take a look at that, that y value is 2. So it has a minimum of 2. Okay, vertex labeled as an ordered pair. Minimum or maximum would be the highest or lowest y value. So that one minimum is +2. Okay, for this second example, vertex, we want to list the ordered pair. The vertex for this one will be 2, 5. The x coordinate will be 2. The y coordinate is 5. This is the highest point on the graph. This is a maximum. And we see the maximum is 5. Okay, so if you're given the graph, find the vertex labeled as an ordered pair and give the minimum or the maximum. Okay. Domain and range is also involved with quadratic functions. Remember your domain. Think x coordinates. Those are all the x values that we can plug into the graph or that show up on the graph. Your range is all the y values. Okay. Now if you take a look up here and on your paper, it says unless a specific domain is given, which that will be very rare. Assume that the domain of a quadratic function is all real numbers. We're going to use everything because it goes all the way to the left, all the way to right. Now the range is not all real numbers. Okay, the range is just the y values it hits. So if you take a look at here, this line here to the right shows it starts at 1. That is the lowest y value and hits everything else. So for this case here, for that graph, the domain is all real numbers. The range is all the numbers bigger than 1. So what we do is we use this inequality that you see up here. Y is greater than or equal to 1. So that will be our range. All right, let's take a look at a new graph. Okay, domain and range here. Domain will be all real numbers. Range are just the y values. Okay, the y values are, you think vertical, so you think up and down. So it doesn't go all the way up, but it does go all the way down. So, but it starts at this value here and goes all the way down. Well, what y value is that? That y value is -3. So we say y is less than or equal to -3. All right, for the second one, domain will be all real numbers. The range is not all real numbers because it doesn't hit everything on the y-axis. It starts at -4 and it goes up. So our range is y is greater than or equal to -4. All right, take a look at that third one. Write down what you think the domain and range is. I'll pause here for a second. Actually, I'll just write out the word domain and range. Okay, domain. It's not going to change. All real numbers. Range, the y values. This one has the highest y value, which is +3, and it hits everything down below it. So it's going to be all the y values less than or equal to 3. So put down y is less than or equal to 3. All right, this finishes up that little part of section 9.1 we didn't get to yesterday. Okay, this will be your classwork / homework. But don't start it yet. I need you to watch that second video and then put both assignments on one sheet. Okay, just put them right, first one and then the second one, and just keep them together. All right, I'm going to pause this one. Go ahead and go to the second video. Make sure you get the guided notes for the second video from the substitute if he hasn't already given them to you.